Welcome to the Sanctuary. I'm Kyle, and I'm here to tell you, never be afraid to step into the pleasure den of the absurd. Now, I had just posted a video review addendum of Led Zeppelin II. Addendum to what? Well, the first video I ever did for this channel was my ranking of the Led Zeppelin albums. And I'll put that link in the description so you can see it. It's a good one. Please watch it. And so, like I said, I just posted a video and I was going to do these addendums in the order of my ranking of the Zeppelin albums. Now, the criteria for my ranking was, you know, if I was going to listen to Led Zeppelin, what would be the last album I would grab as compared to the first one? Well, the last one was very easy for me, and that's their debut, Led Zeppelin I. Now, this is a good debut, don't get me wrong, but the band is definitely in their infancy. They realize they have this unique power amongst the four of them. You know, they're all bringing something to the table with this album. Plant's voice is booming and dynamic, and quite frankly, you know, he's very unique sounding on this album. I mean, he sounds a little similar on Led Zeppelin II and onwards, but there's something about the power of his voice, and he's really letting loose. And of course, all the instrumentalists, you know, Bonham is, you know, as dynamic as he's showing his sound and his power and his talent, same as Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones. And with that, you know, Jimmy Page is at the helm. He's taking little bits of songs, what everyone's good at, merging them together. You will see as we go through the songs, it'll make more sense. So keep watching. But the thing about this album, you know, even though it's my least favorite, you know, I will say this. It sets the template for what Zeppelin's going to do throughout their career. You know, everything you're going to hear Zeppelin do in one way or another, you're going to hear on this album. You know, it might not quite sound the same, but hey, you know, they're using keyboards, you know, and just, you know, if you look at their career, in 1979, what is the best band in the world going to do? Well, they're going to use contemporary instruments for 1979 and use all the latest synthesizers and all that kind of stuff. And in 69, what do they got? Well, they got a Hammond organ. So this album, again, with that, is very of its time. It is a very 1960s album. And let's just show the cover again, and let's just look at this. This was released in early 1969, and there's a shot of the guys on the back, and I don't know if you could see these guys on the bottom, but you know. So again, it sets the template, and it has a timbre to this album. And again, as I said in the Zeppelin II video, these two albums complement each other very well. You know, where here's the debut, let's show them what we can do. And as they're starting to get their footing, you know, they come out with this and show you, okay, you know, that the Zeppelin train is moving and moving ahead, you know. So a great album. I just think that after this, they all get better and better. So logistically, it makes sense to be my least favorite Zeppelin album. But let's go through the songs and see what's really happening here. So Good Times, Bad Times, great opener, classic Zeppelin song. You know, the great thing about this is the the lyrics are good. The band shines, Plant singing great. There's harmonies on it, the great ripping guitar solo, shows the band, here we are, and it's great, and no stolen lyrics. Next up, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. Now, I think, this was, again, with Zeppelin being in its infancy, there's a lot of cover songs on this album, because it's basically, again, them, wow, Jimmy Page has ideas to do in the studio. He's got this great set of guys. They don't have much material of their own. And so they do Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, which Joan Baez had previously done. Plant's voice is really good. The guitars all sound good. It's just not a favorite for me as far as the Zeppelin songs go. I would really never go out of my way to listen to Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, although, it does show what Zeppelin can do. Again, I would not go to this track, but, I can see why people like it, and, that's the great thing. Us being all Zeppelin fans, we all like Zeppelin. We just might want to hear it in a different order, but we're happy to hear it when it's on. So that takes us to You Shook Me, and boy, I was just saying, we're all Zeppelin fans and everything. This is one of my least favorite Zeppelin cuts ever. You Shook Me. It's a cover. They didn't steal it. It was a Muddy Waters song. And I just find it, Zeppelin's, I don't know, I just find it plodding, banal, uninteresting. It just, boy, sometimes the English blues musicians, this is what happens. I don't particularly like it. There were some, great guitar sounds on it. And, the drums are, completely bombastic. It just, I don't know, it just moves around, too slow a pace. But enough with that. On with Dazed Confused. Now, the Yardbirds originally did a version of this song that was pretty much the same exact arrangement. The descending bass line, which again, this song was kind of, lifted from Jake Holmes, I believe it was, and I think Page changed the lyrics. The lyrics here on the Zeppelin version are definitely different than they were on the Yardbirds version, although if you were to listen to them back to back, they're very similar, very, very similar. And that's what shows everybody that, Page had a vision. So he just took this arrangement that the Yardbirds musicians were playing and gave it to these guys that were in Led Zeppelin. And, boy, does it kick it up a notch or two or three, So it's I can see why it's a sort of Zeppelin, I don't know, standard favorite. I've heard it so many times. It's just one of those songs I've heard so many times that I wouldn't really go out of my way to hear it. And I was a little, I don't know. I wish they had played another song other than Dazed Confused at the O2 show, but it is what it is. And there's a lot of great guitar sounds. Again, the violin, bow, and everything. The call and response with the vocal and the guitar. So it's definitely Zeppelin took this arrangement, made it theirs, and they'll always be remembered for it. So we're on to side 2 now. Your Time Is Gonna Come. This is a good little song. It really grew on me over the years. I never really, went out of my way to listen to it back then, but now I would, it's just a fun little song. The guitars are nice. It's got steel guitar. I love it when Jimmy Page plays a steel guitar. You don't hear it too much, but it is really nice. And again, it's emblematic of the early Zep. I think, again, as far as the song lyrics go, I think, some of the songs on here, like Good Times, Bad Times, and Your Time Is Gonna Come, and Communication Breakdown, the Zeppelin originals, are good ones, and they stand out, and that's what makes this album stand out, and onto Black Mountain Side, Jimmy Page gets to do an acoustic guitar showcase, and having been such a fan of the Beatles growing up, hearing tablas on a Western artist's album, wasn't new to me. And, it's kind of refreshing, it's short, and then, boom, it stops, and then bam, communication breakdown, it's got that quick edit, and bam, goes into an all-time Zeppelin classic. Just recently I've been hearing people say that they don't particularly like this song too much, and I don't know, man. Where I was growing up, hands down, all the Zep fans, think this is a classic, and so it's a good one. I like it, and then it goes on to "I Can't Quit You, Baby," which is a good cover. Now this version of Zeppelin Blues, I mean, they really are covering Otis Rush's version. It's not that different, unlike, they played "You Shook Me" differently than Muddy Waters did, that's for sure. So this is a good one. I like it. It's a good blues. The band's good. Jimmy Page gets to show off, his guitar technique. It plants really good on the vocals. It's good, and so I like it. And next up is "How Many More Times," which is sort of a patchwork, and at the same time a patchwork of existing cover songs. Arranged in Zeppelin, magic. I hate to use that term, but I couldn't think of anything else to say. How Many More Years by Howlin' Wolf is kind of the basis for this. At least twisting the lyrics around a little bit, so it's not exactly stolen, but and then they go into "The Hunter," which was from a '67 album by Albert King. They Call Me the Hunter, and they start singing that, and again, it's got a lot of riffs, the call and response. The band chemistry is really good. It's just a fun track, and when I did that first addendum, which is somehow hidden on YouTube, it's even hidden from me, the channel creator. So, I kind of realized, wow, I like side 2 of this a lot more than side 1, which I just thought was kind of interesting. But it's a good one, and in summation, it's a very '60s sounding album, very indicative of 1960s, with the Hammond organ and the acoustic guitars and all that stuff. So with that, all the other Zeppelin albums will be coming. Somehow I got my original addendum for Led Zeppelin I hidden on me. I'm not sure why. I was never notified of it, and I didn't do it myself. I can't even find it on my own page. So that's why you got this. And with that, Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your thoughts about Zeppelin in the comments. Let me know. And I also want to tell everybody too, if you like this channel and subscribe to it, you'll be seeing my little community posts where I'll tease upcoming videos, or I'll have music polls. I got a couple of Zeppelin music polls going on right now. Go check them out and answer them, and let's see what all the Zeppelin fans think. And with that, thank you for watching and joining me, and never be afraid to step into the pleasure den of the absurd.